Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chop Talk. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the raddest princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I'm feeling pretty rad today. It is Mother's Day here in Canada. My mother's not here. She's enjoying her life in Greece and vacation with
Ooh,
my dad. Yeah, yeah, jelly,
yeah.
jelly. They did send me a message today. Apparently, they have a set of grapes in Greece named Melissa. Who would have thought? I'm getting people drunk. How are you doing, my friend?
I know you get people drunk. I've witnessed it, and I've had it happen to me. So
I had a controlled environment. I can't control Greece.
you could if you tried.
No, I'm not that good. I could try, but no, it wouldn't go well.
You
How
could
are
be
you
the
doing, my
next.
friend?
You could be the next Caligula.
No, thank you.
I
Ew.
I only say
Blech.
that because we literally just watched an episode about it, on a show about it. So
And you should know I am absolutely not that.
you are
Blech.
definitely not that person. Be the next like Stalin or something, but for Greece,
Wouldn't I just be a Melball?
Stalin
I
ball.
just want to be a Melball.
It'd be a
No, stop. What the frick? We're
Stalin
getting
ball.
way off topic here. Just answer the question. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Had
Jesus.
2 days at my job now. I worked on Thursday and Saturday. I'm happy. My show's been going good. Watching some great wrestling, even though I tapped out last night when both of us were watching the MJPW show from our respective homes, but I had
Mhm.
worked all day and had been a very long 3 days before that with all the wrestling that I tapped out at just before the never open weight title match, and I still haven't gone back to finish it. I haven't been spoiled, but I'll be finishing those this evening and catching up on Best of Super Juniors from Saturday, the opening
Mm.
day of that. So
Mhm.
lots of stuff still to watch that we're going to be covering this week on NJPW Pro Wrestler Review. So
Yes, yes. I did watch the first day of the Super Juniors yesterday before watching Resurgence. I also tapped out, but I tapped out for the main.
mm,
Um, the Eddie Kingston Gabe Kidd match really quite exhausted me.
mm.
It was a tremendous match, but I was very tired emotionally speaking after that. So yeah, I didn't finish watching that show either, although from I did pop in to see, like I left it playing and went and did other things. But I left it playing. I did see some stuff at the end of the show. So we definitely have some things to discuss and we might not be too happy about them. Um, on Foodorist to review. So stay tuned to our socials to see when that's coming out.
And speaking of the
Huh.
Best of Super Juniors, you can go over. You
Mm.
can actually check here on the channel. We had our Best of the Super Juniors preview. I cut it out from the Japanese wrestling update on Friday. I
Mm-hmm.
recorded a little intro and outro, just letting people know what's going on, and did the sign off, and you'll be interested to see how I sign a show off. Nothing bad, but it's different. It's different than you. So yeah. No,
I'm
don't make that face. No, no,
scared.
it's not. I just said it's not bad. I didn't do anything wrong. It's just I didn't do like your. I didn't do your. Mwah, I didn't do that. Adios. I give it my own ending.
Our differences between what the definition of bad is are two
It's
very different definitions.
it's not your definition of bad, okay?
Okay, that's good. That's good. Das ist gut, yeah.
Yeah, so that is up on the channel now. We had our first
Mm-hmm.
a review preview episode of Marigold. We reviewed their match from the Wrestle Magic show and the previewing the March 20th show. So that's up there now. So lots of great stuff on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here today to talk some independent pro wrestling here in Alberta, because we had a big week. Oh, and you can also find me if you go to McGuire on Wrestling. I appeared for like 5 minutes on that show, on the Sunday show for that. Just talking about my time at AEW last week. So yeah, lots of stuff.
And what a time.
Yeah, what a time, man. Mina Shirakawa.
Lost my voice in like 5 minutes just because Mina Shirakawa came out. I was saving my voice for it, and for the rest of the night, it was hoot.
Mm-hmm.
Had just raspy,
Yeah,
which because that was the first night of our 3 nights of shows, technically 4 if we count Resurgence yesterday.
yeah. But 3 nights out of shows. Literally 3 nights going to shows. Whew. So second
I'm
night.
exhausted.
So the second night is
Yes.
what we're here to talk about. So before we do that, I just want to
Yes.
thank each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in here. Please keep liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting down below, sharing yourself to all your friends, family, and all the crazy pro wrestlers that make those dives off of top of things. And don't forget to share us out, tell your friends, or don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello!
What's with the gun?
I don't know, just like Hardy's like, hello. I don't know, just being weird.
Good times, good times. Let's get into it, my friend. This was a great show.
Yeah, so we're here to talk about the Canadian Wrestling Elite CWE Point to Prove tour, which on this show, 3 out of the 5 matches had people changes in the matches. So I literally had to edit graphics.
You know what? I mean, it wasn't like RCW level.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it. And to be honest, given what the show ended up turning out to be, I'm actually pretty happy about it.
Top to bottom, great show. I had
Oh, yeah.
no complaints about this show. Like I had
I
fun
have
with
one.
everything. Oh, okay. Like
I
okay,
have one.
I have things that I was like but like I thought I started the show really looking forward to it, and I left on such a high after having such a great show the night before. This one just giving me such a great show this night. I'm very happy with this.
This is my one complaint. My one complaint is that not more people saw this show. That's
Yeah,
my
I agree.
complaint.
I
This
agree.
show, the last show that we saw had Shane Douglas as their main draw, and that place was packed. Like, I swear to goodness, every chair that was in the Norwood Legion was in that room, and there were still people standing. Like, it was that packed. And the show was pretty good, but like in comparison to what we got for this show, it should have been just as packed.
I
This
agree.
show was solid from top to bottom, and I was angry that we were the noisiest people in there.
No, that was the guy. That was the guy that was beside us and then in front of us. He was the
Yeah,
noisiest
we
person in
were
there.
a loud section, yes, the
Yeah,
Mr. Jorts guy.
yeah. I loved him though because he give me more. If every fan was like him, events would just be nonstop crazy and it'd be so much more fun.
If everybody in there was like him, the wrestlers would be kicking the crap out of most of the audience.
Yeah, he tried to step to Thad and a couple other wrestlers a couple of times. Like,
Yeah, no, don't ever say that again. We do not. The Andre's opinion is not supported by Andre
okay,
Melball's
okay.
Wrestling Talk.
I wish every fan had half of his enthusiasm. Is that
I can agree
better?
with that.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
I wish every fan had half the enthusiasm because it would be the greatest show I'd ever go to. I can tell you that for sure.
Especially if it was packed like it should have been. Now,
Yeah.
let's get into the first match.
So the first match was for the ASW Trans Canada Championship. I think I know it's an that's at least how they describe it. It's It's the ASW promotion of the BC. Titles being defended in a promotion from Winnipeg while doing a show in Edmonton, Alberta. A BC's promotion title on a Winnipeg promotions show in Alberta. That's
You know, as long as it makes sense to the promoter, um, you know, what have you.
yeah. Yeah. So
Gamer.
you had Leon Lokombo. This man is impressive as hell, taking on
Yes.
Mr. Beefy Goodness, the champion, legend of Canadian independent wrestling, Vance Nevada. He put a book out a couple years ago. It has the
Mhm.
history of professional wrestling. It literally is the history of professional wrestling. It's the encyclopedia of professional wrestling. He wrote it a couple years ago. It's insanely detailed. I've had a couple friends who got it. I highly recommend the book. Quite expensive, but highly recommend the book. But yeah, this match was so much fun. Lokombo just killing it. I think the entire crowd was behind Lokombo except for me. I was chanting for Mr. Beefy Goodness, even though I do like Lokombo. I was cheering for both, but like I'm a big fan of Mr. Beefy Goodness. And
I mean, name was a little misleading, but yeah.
Yeah, Vance gets a really spine busters Lokombo out of the corner and then just stomps on his groin at one point. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Rude.
Dude, the belly to belly that Lokombo hit in this match, dude, he just like Vance weighed nothing. It's like he weighed nothing.
I mean, but look at the size difference.
Yeah.
Mr. Beefy Goodness is pretty tall, and but he was not as wide as Leon Lokombo, who obviously from the picture, bodybuilding background, he's won the sword. The shoulders were like 3 times as straight as they are in this picture. Like, I'm not surprised. Made it look so easy. It was crazy.
There's a point where Vance had a sleeper, like a sleeper hold on Lokombo, and Lokombo just stood up with Nevada on his back, and then just, or sorry, he had him in a camel clutch. Sorry, and he just stood up with him on the back and just ran him into the corner to break it. Just the power there. Beautiful spine buster, and then just this leaping elbow drop by Lokombo for 2. Vance Nevada getting a great swinging neck breaker for 2. But in the end, Lokombo hits the huge suplex and falls up with the spear to become the new ASW Trans-Canada champion. I can't remember the exact name of the title, but yeah, he's a new champion. The title belt was a repurposed IWGP fifth generation championship.
Fifth gen
title. With IWGP removed and ASW put in there. It was so cool to see that belt up close. I know you have a copy, but
I mean, it's not as pretty as that copy, though, mind you. It's just an etched one, but still, yeah, it was really cool and like really cool to see up close, especially when with all the sparkle darkles on it. What do I remember? Not a lot, but the biggest thing that I took out of this for Leon Lokombo, because we know Vance Nevada has been around for a hot minute. He's teaming with Andy Anderson, the heeliest heel that's ever healed in the history of healing in Alberta. You can't ask for a better heel combination with Vance Nevada and Andy Anderson. But Leon Lokombo, we had seen in last month's show, and I believe he was teaming with the Goose. Was he not?
It was him and Goose versus Styles.
Who they were against is not
relevant. No, it was Santa Claus from the other side of the tracks.
It doesn't matter because what matters is that in that match, Leon Lokombo did give up a lot of the crowd interaction to Goose, who is just legendary for it. In this match, we saw a huge difference from last month in Leon Lokombo's ability to interact with the crowd. Last month, when he was with Goose, he didn't do it so much. This time, he was firing us up. He was banging on the mat to get us excited. He was interacting with us, and we even got to stop by the table and chat with him after. Well, briefly, I kind of ran outside to smoke, but it was still really, really refreshing to see that difference in just a month in personality, because that's what I like to see in a well-rounded wrestler. Not only the ability to perform the moves inside, but to be able to sell, to be able to get the crowd going, either with interaction or without interaction. And in our next Chalk Talk, right, we are going to talk about someone who did pretty much the opposite of what Lokombo did in this match. Lokombo was interactive with the crowd, whereas someone on the Top Talent show was still getting a rise out of the crowd without even interacting with the crowd. It was incredible. So yeah, this was so solid for me and like a really amazing way to set off the show, because I saw that evolution in Lokombo's character. And then for me, this was actually the first time seeing Vance Nevada alive. And it was very solid match. Very solid match. It was scary a little bit. The man ray on his chest I thought was going to jump out on us. But this match was so good and an incredible way to start the show.
Yeah, I would never want a manta ray made of hair to jump at me.
No, I don't think anyone would.
Ugh. So we move on to the second match of the evening, which was originally scheduled to be Danny Duggan versus Travis Cole, but it ended up being Danny Duggan versus local Canadian, just local Canadian is what I'm calling him, John Gillespie. I couldn't
Mhm.
find a picture of John Gillespie anywhere, so I found a Canadian bowling ball with pants and legs, and for some reason uh, a thing to shave
Hair
your hair,
clipper?
a hair
Hair
clipper.
clipper.
I don't know why it's holding a hair clipper. It just did. It just had it when I found it. I'm like, that works.
Okay. Take us into it, sir. Take us
So
into it.
Danny Duggan doing his pro is now residing in America gimmick. Um, that intro was just way too long. That's that song "God Bless the USA." The entire thing played before he came out. It was like,
Yeah.
and then it came
I mean,
out.
that's the point, though, right? To be the most obnoxious American styled character. And, like, let's be honest, there's some other characters on the show who could be just as obnoxious. He made himself way more obnoxious. I
Mm.
appreciate the character work.
Oh, absolutely wonderful with the character work. Comes
Mhm.
out with the American flag, and you and me started joking that maybe it's secretly a gun, just like the Penguin.
Yes. Yes, like the umbrella gun, but it's a
Yeah,
flag gun. And how funny could that have been at one point of the match, just exploding American confetti.
it would have been hilarious.
Mhm,
And John Gillespie every time did get some good advantage early on. Every time Danny would try to attack, Gillespie would get the advantage. It was really good. Um,
mhm,
John's powering through chops at one point, and he's not let it, so Duggan just pokes him in the eye.
mhm.
Um, Duggan with a very nice drop kick to the face, to right into the face of Mister
Yeah,
Gillespie. Um, John Gillespie reverses a suplex attempt by Duggan, hits a suplex, and gets a great Ultimate Warrior style running splash for two.
mhm,
In
mhm.
the end, though, Duggan gets a hold of the flag, but Gillespie takes it, and Duggan's on his knees saying, "Don't hit me." And Gillespie goes to hit him with the flag, but the ref takes it. And as the ref's going to put the flag on the outside, Duggan low blows Mr. Gillespie and rolls him up for the win.
Very Yano,
Yep,
very
very
Yano.
Yano.
Or evil, whichever one you wanna look at. Um,
Or Narita,
yeah,
or anybody that cheats to win.
House of Torture. We'll
Yeah,
just say House of Torture. Very very House of Torture.
very
Um,
no, very Yano of torture. You gotta include
yeah,
Yano
there you
involved.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yano of Torture. Um I as I mentioned, I really appreciate the character work Danny Duggan does for this anti-Canadian character, because it brings on some really good cheap heat for him and makes it easier for the face who didn't know um, to kind of get a little bit more over and get a little bit more people behind him as opposed to just hating on the heel.
Mhm.
Um, I really like the new trunks. I don't know if they're brand new, but for me, like, I personally didn't see the last month's Danny Duggan match, so I don't know if these were new trunks this
Mm.
month or used again. Either way, they looked very fresh, brand new. They fit them really good, and they weren't falling down. That's a big thing for trunks for me, for the pants style. Sometimes the guys, they don't get them with the little drawstring in it. They keep falling down. Chic. We don't want to see your panties. These ones stayed up really good, though. It was a really great look overall, especially being like that hyper tan, kind of puffed out, waving the flag around character. It was funny. It was very enjoyable to see. I really, we both kept talking about Mr. Gillespie's boots.
Mm.
Oh,
I really liked his boots.
they looked really, really slick with the singlet. But yeah, this was a good match, good pace to kind of follow up from the initial opener. It wasn't quite as like a high ride for me, but I felt that like overall it kind of kept me on that same
Mhm.
kind of level of entertainment. So yeah, very, very fun.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I had a really good time watching this event. It really worked, and I just had a fun time with it, or this match. And
Yes.
like Gillepsie, for a big dude, like he was a bigger dude, like rounder dude, like myself. Not as round as me, but he was a rounder dude. Wearing the singlet, he had a good, tight, nice fitting singlet because we didn't have any nipples pop out.
No, no. Mr. Nipple's name stays with Bronson Reed, Reed
Yep.
Bronson, Jonah Bronson, Bronson Reed, whatever the hell he's going by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. We talked quite a bit about that also. Was this where we saw the debut of Matt Slaps, or was it the first match?
No, first match was Matt Slaps, but he didn't get introed as Matt Slaps until the main event.
Correct. Correct.
This one, the next one, and the fourth one were all Cam.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool. Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
So we're gonna move on to the I would say feature match on the show, which features Savio Vega in a 5-on-5 elimination match. Yes, you see a little Scottish sheep there. That was to cover up Birak Rani, who wasn't on the show, and we got a replacement who was Scottish. So it is WWF legend Savio Vega teaming up with the Radz, which has Mitch Clark, Rich King, and Larry and F and Larry.
Fucking Larry.
Fucking
But we're
Larry
gonna be
Woods.
nice to Larry because it was Larry's birthday that day.
Yeah, we were chanting "Happy Birthday" to him at one point,
Yes, we
and
were.
they teamed up with the Canadian Goose.
Yes. Honk,
Honk
honk.
honk honk, taking on the Canning Corporation of headline Shaun Martens and the Boston Bruiser Kevin O'Doyle, Steven Styles. I didn't catch his full name, so I called him and I caught his one name, Brodie the Scottish guy, and Rusty Blackwell, the Backwoods Butcher, and they were managed by Thaddeus Archer the third. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was an interesting team. I got to touch tips with all the Radz, including the retired from managing Ben too, who was sitting next to us.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, you got
I
to
was
touch
very
the
happy.
love of my life, Mitch Clark.
Yeah, okay. Every time I see Mitch on a show, I try to want him to do the tip thing, and
Mhm.
he has ignored me at every single show. So as they're coming out, I put it out, Larry, no problem, touch tips. And Mitch is coming next, and I read it out, and he comes to me, he's like, and he does it. I'm like, oh my god! And then Rich comes around, he touches tips because Rich is my boy. That guy's
Mhm.
awesome. And then I sit down, and Ben's like, and then you and me touch tips. I'm like, come on, Ben, come on, and then Ben does it. That was great. It was great.
It was. It was
It was a
great.
highlight.
You know,
Okay,
I think it's probably though because depending, like sometimes they forget which company they're working. Maybe I don't know because sometimes they're heels, sometimes they're face. It makes sense for heels not to touch tips. Here they were faces though, so it
yeah,
makes
no,
sense to be
but
good.
even last time they were here, Mitch came up, went no, and pulled back and kept and walked away, and he was the face,
I mean, Mitch Clark is kind of like Ellen Gubernale though.
Yeah,
Naito doesn't always fist bump everybody. Mitch Clark doesn't always touch tips.
that's true. All out
Mhm.
brawl at the start. Styles actually slammed Larry's face into my shoulder, and you gave me shit for not moving.
Well, yeah. Why did you let him hurt him?
I don't know. I was in the
You were
moment.
you were an accessory.
Yes, I'm an accessory.
You were an accessory to assault.
Sure, I'm the thing he's
So
telling me to
rude.
be. Um, so the Scottish guy eliminates. I mostly just have eliminations here for the majority of this because
Mhm.
it was just a giant chaotic match. Brody, the Scottish guy, eliminates Goose. Mitch ends up choking out Brody to eliminate him. Uh, Martens attacks Mitch and send him to the floor, so Mitch actually got counted out.
Mhm.
There's a spot where they do the atomic drop into the Radz do the atomic drop into the Bulldog on Steven Styles. And then the Butcher comes in to make the save and he trips over the rope. And I was just like, oh, I felt so bad for the man because, like, you're in kind of one of the profile matches on the show, and you trip coming in. I felt for him there.
Didn't he also trip over somebody else when he was trying to back out after that?
A little
He
bit,
tripped
yeah.
on the rope coming in, and then he tripped over, I think, Mitch, when he was trying to back up to the outside. I was just like, come on, guy. You just hikaleo with that shit. Be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. Styles ends up hitting Larry, knocks him out, pins him to eliminate him. Larry starts brawling with Styles on the floor. Styles gets eliminated by countout, along with Rich and the Butcher, who are both brawling along with Styles and Larry, and who neither man was the legal man in this match, but the ref decided to eliminate them at the same time. And I'm like,
let's be honest, they were not paying attention. They wouldn't have made it back in.
I was very mad that he eliminated Rich, because Rich. So
yeah, we didn't get to see the boinky boinky thing.
Yeah, so we're down to Savio Vega versus Shaun Martens and Kevin O'Doyle, which is a big mountain to climb. With Kevin O'Doyle and the headline Shaun Martens, who I admit is, I think, an incredible professional wrestler. So Savio Vega holds on. This dude can still go at a pretty phenomenal. Not like he's not 90 Savio Vega, but this guy, for a guy in his 50s, boy, he's moving better than El Presidente from New Japan. That's for sure. This dude he's moving smooth. He's just he dodges out of the corner, gets a schoolboy on a Doyle to eliminate him. Him and Martens go back and forth, just killing it. Martens gets this huge backdrop suplex, or backdrop where he just launches Vega up into the air, and he comes just crashing. I'm like, oh my god, like Vega does a lot. But in the end, Vega hits that rolling wheel kick, like Hiroki Goto, and he pins Shaun Martens for the win. I was super impressed.
Spinning heel kick thing.
Yeah, that wheel kick thing that he does, that rolling wheel kick. Yeah, or the spinning leg lariat or whatever, the rolling leg lariat or whatever it is. Yeah,
I think yesterday they said it was a spinning wheel lariat.
Well, a spinning heel.
It doesn't matter. It looked cool.
Whatever it was. Yeah, he hit it and he won. And such a good match. He cut a promo about just still loving independent loving wrestling, getting to do travel and do these shows. Talked a bit about IWA Puerto Rico, which he is still the head booker for, and he got them to play the salsa music, and he danced, and all the Radz dance and Goose dance. It was great.
It was great. It was so good. So I was telling you before we came on here, I kind of had an epiphany, a rad epiphany, if you will. So these are two shows that we've seen with CWE now. And then we've been watching, like I've been going with you to the more local shows consistently for like a year now. So I feel that I've seen enough shows in Edmonton to be able to make this statement. The Radz overall, and I mean all four of them, including TY, who we haven't seen in a little bit, they are the TMDK of Alberta. Now, you remember on Puroresu Review, I said TMDK are the guys that you put in the matches because you know they're good and they're going to give you the best freaking match possible. You put them in those main event matches or their main title matches because you know they're going to have bangers. And with the CWE show last month, they were against Shane Douglas, and they helped make that match so good. This match, they were with Savio Vega, and they helped make that match so good. Like, it's again, the TMDK boys. You got Mitch as Zack Sabre Jr., you got Larry as Shane Haste, you got Rich as Mikey Nichols, and we'll say that, like, TY is like kind of a combo between Fujita and Big Teats. You got the perfect
what about
right there.
Who's Robbie Eagles?
Ben?
Ben's Robbie Eagles.
I would say Ben, because if you watch you haven't watched it yet, But the first night of the Best of the Super Juniors, Robbie Eagles was on commentary with Chris Charlton. So, based on that, and based on our commentary with Ben, Robbie Eagles.
Yeah.
It's Ben.
Oh, the other part of this matchup was amazing. Was Ben and Thaddeus. It started in this match and continued in the next. The kid again. Thaddeus is the reason Ben. Well, Thaddeus is the reason Ben no longer can manage the Radz in LPW, and they were yelling at each other, and just it was, oh my god, it was so funny.
It was the cherry on top. It was great.
Oh yeah, it just made it. So we went to intermission.
Tripped Thaddeus too. That Jorts guy that you were just loving on, he tripped Thaddeus during this match.
Not in this, but no, it was during Andy's match, I thought.
Was it?
Okay, yeah, I know he tripped that. I thought it was during Andy's, but he might have done it during this one.
I can't remember. He was moving a lot in both those matches.
Yeah. So yeah, we ended up going to intermission. And we got this is where we got to chat with Lokombo, got to chat with a couple wrestlers here on the way in and out of it. Yeah. So and then we move on to the semi-main event of the evening. It was supposed to be Ikaze versus Chad Daniels, a rematch from the last Edmonton show, but no Chad Daniels. And I'm very happy because I put this on my list. I don't have a lot of notes, but that's because this match wasn't a match where you're taking a lot of notes, because it was all about the ring psychology in this match.
Yeah. These guys were mucking with each other more than they were kind of like fighting with each other, and it was actually really refreshing.
Because you got Ikaze versus Andy Anderson, legitimately the best heel in professional wrestling, versus
the heeliest heel that's ever healed in the history of healing in Alberta,
versus Ikaze, who is just an incredible presence as a babyface, because he has such amazing charisma and just wild, just has this ability and he fires up a crowd so well. Get him behind him, and Andy just makes the crowd hate you, or makes the crowd hate him so much that it's just utter perfection here. And the psychology, Andy spending at least the first 5 minutes of this match on the outside, just avoiding locking up with Cam to begin with, and then would continue to do it throughout the match. Him demanding Ronnie be ejected from the show because she was booing him, and him blaming just so funny. Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, you're absolutely right, yo.
Yeah. Cam was chasing Thad around the ring at one point, and Thad turns around to clothesline him. So Cam ducks the clothesline, but Andy clotheslines him on the floor. And again, it was a lot of just great work. There was a lot of good, just straight up holds in it was a lot of good basic wrestling, but it sucked you in more than any crazy high spot match could, because it was just pure character work, pure psychology, playing to the crowd, and Andy just hitting these, just hitting strikes and dropping Cam, and Cam making little comebacks. That's what this was, man. Andy gets that kitchen sink to the guy, that running knee into the stomach, and then Andy hits this really nice Russian leg sweep. Cam came back with this great jawbreaker. Even you're the one. It's that's a jawbreaker.
I know stuff.
And then
I was excited.
And the end of the match, Cam hits the Michinoku driver / Zach driver for the win. It was a weirdly confusing win because the ref counted 1, 2, 3, but then he went like this. Didn't knock his mic over, but went like this. Was going like this, but they rang the bell anyways and announced Cam the winner. And then yeah, you counted 3, but Andy, then he went, no, it's not. And it was weird. It was a weird.
Yeah, it was a little confusing at the end there, but they kind of played it off pretty quickly, thankfully, before the lushy crowd kind of kept caught up with it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This was very much a psychology match than it was just a beatdown brawl that we've kind of been seeing more on in GPW lately. I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy seeing Andy, though. Such a good heel. And it doesn't matter who he gets in the ring with, he's gonna elevate them. And like with Cam, kind of already elevates himself with that craziness because everyone loves his just crazy positive energy that he comes in with, and he's just ready and raring to go. Do you see the video on his social from the last tour where he was
Yeah,
like monkey barring through the freaking rafters? This
yeah,
guy's like the best heel in Alberta against one of the bigger faces in Alberta. This was just so good. So
yeah.
good. I'm
Uh,
surprised you took matches because I was just enthralled with what was going on.
that's the thing is, I only had. I think I took a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 notes, but so much happened while
Mhm,
so little happened at the same time. But they
mhm,
did so much with so little, and to me, that is the perfect epitome of a pure
mhm,
psychological, like pure psychology of professional wrestling. And I thought, again, no
mhm,
matter, I love me a Will Ospreay. He's flying around killing people and doing that. I love that. Osprey versus Ricochet's video game match from like how many years ago it was is still one of my
mhm,
favorite matches to this day. But this was just an appreciation for how good two guys can do with using so much less, and I loved it.
mhm.
I'm putting it.
Yeah,
I
they
I have I have it on my list for our one of my on my indie match of the year list,
oh,
along
yeah,
with some other really bangers.
100%.
So yeah,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, but, like, for this one, like, with all some of the other matches we've saw, it was, like, something like Soy Boy and Tommy Billington, where it was, like, crazy chaos, the same kind of similarity that I would say with, Ricochet and Osprey, just in a very different style with Tommy. But whereas this one, it's elevated because of that amazing psychology that these guys were able to do, and both of them are so unapologetic about it. They're both so what's the word? They're just
good.
behind their well, yeah, obviously, but, let's, like, not make mouth sound too dumb here. Um, Andy Anderson is unapologetically, like, a bad guy, and
Mhm.
then Cam is just unapologetically good. It was such a great Star Wars showdown, essentially. The
Yeah,
battle of the dark side and the light side,
a
with
hundred
Thad
percent.
somewhere in the middle as the Emperor.
Yeah, he's just there controlling, and I it just getting to have Thad and Andy together again was just
Ah,
perfect.
winning combo for sure.
Winning, definitely a winning combo. So we move on to the main event to the evening. It is the Zombie Princess Jimmy Jacobs versus the Lion Warrior Bobby Sharp. Um, Jimmy pulling off his gloves, and he pulls one off and just falls off and slaps Bobby in the face with the glove like an old school duel, and
I
Bobby
loved that.
and Bobby just goes at him. Um, yeah, great green killer by Jimmy Jacobs, spiking Bobby out of his head, out of the ropes. Just like Bobby just like stand up on his head kind of thing. Looked really good.
Mhm,
Um, yeah, beautiful spinning heel kick by Bobby into, and then hits a corner lariat into the bulldog. Bobby
mhm,
gets the Zack driver for 2. Jimmy pushing the ref into the ropes, crotching Bobby up top. He ends up getting a spear to Bobby when he comes down, got a 2 count. Bobby stops sliced bread and he hits a great DDT. Again, he's spiking Jimmy Jacobs with it. Looked really good. Um,
mhm.
Jimmy ends up stopping Bobby up top, tries the superplex, gets pushed off. But as Bobby goes to the splash, Jimmy gets the knees up, and then he rolls up Bobby for 2. Jimmy Jacobs hits an os cutter out of the ropes, out of the corner for 2. And I swear I remember Jimmy Jacobs doing this back in like 2010 when I was watching him in our ways doing the cutter out of the corner. I could be wrong, but I remember him doing that long
Great.
ago. But in the end, Jimmy Jacobs misses the spear. Bobby Sharp hits the spear, goes up, hits the frog splash, and Bobby Sharp is your winner. Again, I thought these two had an incredible match. Jimmy Jacobs was the reason I came to this show. It
Mhm.
was the biggest draw for me coming into the show. But like, I left loving every single match on this show.
Same, same. This one was, we know because of debuting ref, there was a little chaos in this match. But overall, I had a really great time with this fight. This was actually what sold me on this show, because originally I honestly wasn't gonna go, but you were hyping up Jimmy Jacobs, and I was like, okay, we'll go. We'll go have some fun. And I was not disappointed. Holy crap. His outfit, first of all, I mean, I'm that girl. So cool. Like the jacket with the big hoopity doopities on it looks so cool in combination with the gloves. And then in taking the gloves off, it was just, I loved it. I don't know if that's something that he's always done, because this was my first time kind of seeing him in the ring. But like as an introduction, I was impressed. I loved his overall look. He didn't kind of look like he does in the picture here with the hair blown out and everything. The hair was down. Still a nice beard. Overall, very, very nice kind of, I would say, sophisticated look for him for what he usually does. Bobby coming in though, freaking jacked and kicking ass. Holy shit. And Bob has been on a freaking tirade for the last at least year, since returning after a few injuries, where he's just been just go, 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 go. He's been winning championships everywhere. We saw that massive showdown with him and Andy at Top Talent. Like, he's just been on a roll. So it was really, really nice to see him pick up a very definitive win over Jimmy Jacobs, who's got a pretty good reputation, as you said. As I said, this was the reason why I ended up going. And then I was really sold on it was Savio Vega. Holy crap. But what a main event to cap off this show in Edmonton for us. I mean, these guys did absolutely incredible. And they were all over the place. They were in the ring, out of the ring, running around with people. It was glorious, glorious chaos, but in the best possible way. At no point in this night did I look at you and be like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And sometimes I do that. Like, at no point in time do we do this. Again, my only complaint about this show is that not more people saw it, and more people should have seen this show.
I agree 100% of that fact. And I'll admit, Andreas got mad at me the next night because I told him we went to this show. He got mad at us.
I guess we forgot to tell him that we were going, even though it was mentioned in our group chat.
Originally, we said no to this show like a month and a half ago. Because again, money, we both had money issues and stuff, and like I had money issues, and then it was just at that point I had just heard about Savio Vega, right? And then and then I learned Jamie Jacobs on the show, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to go. And then we had decided a couple days out, or about a week or before, and we told him, but no, he doesn't remember. So
it's just go on a side quest, Andreas. He'll catch up with us eventually.
Yep, that's right.
Just start the Zelda music.
Yeah. But we have come to the end of another episode of Chop Talk, talking about the CWE Point to Prove tour. So thank y'all. There's still more dates on this Point to Prove tour, so it's coming through. Check it out. Such a great. And again, there's some guys that travel to every single date, and then there's some that they use a lot of local guys in their markets too. So like you get to see some crazy cool pairings in difference, right? Like Jimmy Jacobs was facing Bobby with us, but he'll be facing somebody completely different in Saskatchewan, in Manitoba, and in Ontario. So like just the matchups you're gonna get to see are pretty darn awesome. So
100%.
So yeah, you can find me on the X at that's you. Whoops. You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk, and right here on the YouTube channel at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can find us also in audio form. All our Japanese shows are over at SundayNightsMainEvent.com in audio form. So check them out. Hit the RSS feed, and if you want to support them, Patreon.com/SNME Radio for only $4 American per month. You can also find me over at twitch.tv/our local establishment this upcoming Wednesday, where you can find me, my boy Ed, doing Marvel Talk, where we're talking the final 3 episodes of X-Men 97's Tolerance is Extinction, parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 1 was awesome. Part 2 was incredible. Then it ripped my heart out at the end and might have ripped something else out of somebody else at the end of that one. And I am just wondering what's going to happen with episode 3, with part 3, because let's go. I can't wait. So check us out on Wednesday, talking that at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. You can also find us over at youtube.com/@backbreaker video, where Mike simulcasts all of our stuff over on his channel. So go over them, give him a follow. And if you like all the wrestling stuff, if you want to hear him talk about wrestling, go to twitch.tv/MikeTheRef, where he does his AEW watch alongs every Wednesday and Saturday, and on the pay-per-view Sundays. You can also see a lot of other live gaming content from him there on twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. You can also see the replays of his gaming content at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find content from him, Mr. PJC, that little guy up there, Mr. Rick Jules, and their freaking guest, Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
We do.
Nearly took out my computer there. If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her on our local establishment's programming, Japanese Wrestling Update, with this guy over here every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, unless it's not. And we'll let you know if it's not. Sometimes we'll do them live, sometimes we will pre-record. It depends on how much professional wrestling we are going to that week, but stay tuned to our socials to see when those are coming out. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. It's been a little bit since we've been on that one, just because we keep having all kinds of ish come up, but we will be coming to you very soon with a brand new episode and a special guest. So stay tuned to our socials to see when that is coming out. If you're wanting to watch any CWE wrestling, you can check out their website, cwecanada.ca, where you can find the links to their ticket prices and where all of their shows are going on. You can also follow them on all of their socials. They have all the wrestlers on their socials to see what they're doing and where they're working out, I guess. They always go to the gyms.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I guess makes sense. Look at those guys. A lot of them are jacked.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to thank y'all, all the beautiful people, for being here and joining us on this show. We appreciate all the support you give us. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Please share us out to your friends, family, and crazy daredevils who like to do crazy things. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
No.
Hello.
Hello. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah.